Hey, all my brothers, all my sisters, all my kings and queens. It's your boy, the Doozy, back again with another video, you feel me? My seat is kind of forward, but yeah, as y'all can see by the title down below, I ain't even wasting time. All success is a matter of law, or laws, right? Today is Friday, the 6th of September 2024. Let's get right into it. This is kind of a freestyle video, but honestly, all success is a matter of law. Wait, someone is coming down. I'm looking at them. Okay. All success is a matter of law or laws. I want to speak about clothes. I'm someone who has a lot of clothes, right? I've been blessed with a lot of clothes. Thank the Lord. And one thing I've realized, right, is my success with clothes, fashion, right? I'm into fashion. Not really into it like that, but, I love dressing fashionably. Why I say I'm not into it like that is because I'll never go as far as rocking a skirt, you feel me? But anyways, it's a matter of law. And my law is, right, you have to constantly be where they sell clothes, right? Secondly, you're going to have to spend money. I've spent, but it's an investment into myself, even though clothes grow old, even though clothes shouldn't be looked at, right, as a real investment. It's still an investment into yourself, but you have to spend. Thirdly, good quality clothing, right? It's up to you. You can have a lot of clothing. That's the thing. It's like people have a lot of clothing, but it doesn't cost much. It's low quality, so they're constantly buying clothes. Whereas in me buying good quality clothing, it lasts a long time, even though it's gonna perish, because that's how clothing be. But that's just the laws. Firstly, you have to be, you feel me, at these stores where they sell clothes, where they sell fashionable clothes. You have to be around the stores. And why I say that is because a lot of places where I get my clothes, they're often on sale, right? The clothes are often on sale. So you find that I get a t-shirt that was supposed to be 1,100 and I get it for 500, right? Because it was on sale. But yeah, it's like if I wasn't frequenting, I wouldn't know, right? Check the pants I'm wearing right now. Ooh, baby. Right? But yeah, these pants, they were originally going for about 800 if I'm not wrong. And where I bought them, which is YDE, they had a stupid sale, you feel me? I'ma get also into sales, but whatever, like they had a stupid sale of about 75%. So I caught these at 210 Rand, you feel me? So it's like, if you want a lot of clothes, right, you're gonna have to keep these laws, as well as then there's laws on how to wash the clothing. Like this t-shirt, it tells you wash at 30 degrees. Some of my t-shirts say iron inside out, right? This one is kind of faded a bit, but you see there's a bunch of, I can't zoom in, forgive me, but there's a bunch of laws, you feel me? Wash at 30, wash max 30 degrees, do not bleach, do not tumble dry. And they just give you laws on how to maintain the quality of the product, right? And if you don't follow these laws, that's how failure comes about, right? So I've seen that all things in life have to do with laws. While we're still on the topic of clothing, right, I have a black t-shirt, an Adidas one. It's just got the Adidas badge here. And because it's black clothes fade, right? They fade pretty quickly. But mine faded really fast. And I always wondered, I was like, damn, is it low quality? Then I came to the conclusion that, okay, this t-shirt is low quality. But then I remember when I washed it, right, and I was ironing it. And, that day I had been listening to a sermon by Dr. Miles Monroe talking about law, like everything, there's a law, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, let me check what it actually says, because I thought I had checked it. And when I checked the tag to see how you must wash it, how you must iron it, one of the laws is iron inside out, right? And I've been ironing it on the outside. So exactly there, that's where I was going wrong. You feel me? I didn't keep the law, and that's why the t-shirt is fading. You feel me? Even though it's still in good quality. But everything is a matter of law, guys. Like, there's the law of saving money. There's the law of not spending more than you earn, right? Not buying things you don't need. And that's something I am learning, right? Because I buy a lot of things I don't need. All these clothes, I don't need them really. There's laws you can make for yourself, but there's also general laws people will tell you about. Like, hey, don't there's worldly laws, but yeah, I'm gonna get into one. Like, they'll be like, if you take someone from someone, if you hit someone with a stinner, they're also gonna hit you with a stinner. So basically, if you take a girl from a guy, like if you take a committed woman and she was in a relationship and you make her your girl, they're also gonna do the same thing to you. You feel me? Never wife a 304. You feel me? There's just general laws people lay down, and if you fail to follow these laws, then you get burnt by your own. I'm a believer, kingdom citizen, and I believe the 10 commandments are God's laws, and we don't keep them to be saved, because we are clearly saved by grace through faith, and that must be Ephesians 2 verse 8. But God puts down the 10 commandments because they are inherent, which means they were built into us, right? So what I mean by that is, when it says do not steal, do not commit adultery, all these things are to help you, not necessarily to limit you, right? There is no true freedom without law. Because if we think about it, yes, we live in a free society because we're not in jail, right? But you can't just go and rape a girl. I'm talking for all us brothers. You can't go and rape a girl because you are free. You feel me? Freedom has to have law. As well as girls, right? You can't just feel like touching up on you can't just be touching up on some guy. Most guys, you feel me, because we're not in control. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, you feel me? So it's easier for them to let guys in, right? But you can't just go up and start touching on every guy, you feel me? Some guys are committed, some guys, it's self-respect. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are certain laws that govern everything, right? Clothing, success, I've seen when it comes to career-wise, in every career, there are laws. So I'm a rapper, right? One of the laws laid down is stay down till you come up. And for me, that means working every day. Every day now I'm writing, right? Except I take a day off, the Sabbath. But every day you're writing, you're making sure you're refining your art. You're recording, right? Make sure you're recording your music. Make sure you're marketing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain laws for every aspect to achieve success. And that's what I've realized, is like, a lot of people are not successful because we're not keeping laws. And we just have to be honest with ourselves, hold ourselves to a standard, and keep the laws, right? There's certain information, there's certain knowledge that is discerned spiritually, right? There's understanding that is not biblical. As I say, like if they say don't wife a 304, that's not biblical per se. But if you have understanding, if you have knowledge, you can take worldly wisdom and use it for your good, right? So everything is law, guys. The law of friendship. You know, I was just on Twitter and I saw a post that says, everyone's your friend until dark days come around. Something like that. But how true is that? Have you ever relied on someone and they weren't there for you? What happens is you're disrespecting a law, and what happens then is that person starts to be like, okay, I can't really trust this person. And the less you trust someone, the less you rely on them, right? So then you guys are no more friends. Everything contains a law, man. Like, I don't know what else I can talk about. You know, career-wise, money-wise, right? Let's get to the money. I said I was going to come back to sales. One thing you have to, you know, like, knowledge that I've been getting is just because it's on sale doesn't mean you have to buy it. And that's truth right there, because there's a lot of things, especially how they set up sales, right? End of the month when you get your money, you find that a thing is going for a ridiculous amount. As I said, these pants, you know, 75% sale. I just copped kicks, 50% sale from 2,000 to 1,000, right? And I don't regret any of my decisions that I've made, because that's just gonna leave me feeling bad. What I have to do is look at them, accept them, and grow. So you have to learn that not everything that's on sale you must buy, right? The law of saving at least 10%. The law of tithing, if you are a Christian, a believer in God, 10% to tithes. Or if with me, like, what I believe is, even if you're not giving 10% to church, right? Take that 10% and help people, right? And you know, but it's up to you and God. Man, there's so many laws. You know, there's the law of cleanliness, you know, just being clean. You know, like, I often think of Uber drivers and law, right? Because what you find that you get into an Uber, maybe the car's dirty, and you know, like today I'm wearing all white like an angel, as you guys can see. Maybe you hop in the Uber and you see this part, right? This part of the car is dirty. So like already me going to work, now I'm like uncomfortable, because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Now I have to sit in some type of way because I don't want to be dirty. The brother smells, it seems like as if he didn't bath. The car smells, right? On top of it, they're driving crazy. And you know, one law that gets me about Uber or Bolt or whatever, it's just that they don't be having seat belts in every car. So I'm like, you know, honestly, you're putting my life at risk. I can't give you 5 stars. Like, that's something I immediately, you know, you have to rate every driver. That's already 1 star off if you don't have a seatbelt. I should be taking 2, because what the F, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there are certain laws you have to follow for things to run smoothly. And I'm going to quickly talk about Uber drivers, or just one instant now. But I have to say, you know, most laws are hard to obey, like the law of no fornication, no sex before marriage for us believers. You know, it's a hard law to follow, but God laid it down for a specific reason, right? For success for us. What I've seen is most people, when they go outside of God's will and they have sex outside of marriage, what ends up happening is most have children, right? And even though children are blessings, you find that now the child is growing up in a home where mommy and daddy are not together. Dad could even run away most of the time. The mom is not financially stable enough. Even if it's not a matter of finances, you being a single parent, like, you need both parents to balance one another out. As I've seen with women, they are more on the emotional side, and us men, we are more, you know, we chill, we cool with it, you feel me? So even that balance helps a lot, because you can find that the woman's just over agitated, whereas a man, you know, he can use his senses, calm down the situation. Even just simple things like that, right? Like, God knows the will of, people who do it right, who get married, who have children. Then let's say the husband or the wife passes away. And that's up to God, you feel me? But other than that, like, it creates dysfunctional homes. But yeah, like, taking it back to the Uber driver, like, today, and like, now I appreciate the brother. He was a cool brother. The car was clean. Yeah, he was clean. There was no funny smile like there normally is. But what had happened is, this was in the morning, me going to work. So there's a road that bends, right? That bends. It has a curve. So there were two cars in front of us. There was a car directly in front of us was like another car, right? Probably like a small car. Then in front of that car was a truck, and the truck was driving slowly. And this other car hadn't overtaken because it was obviously a curve. You couldn't see cars coming, right? Because you could end up bumping. So the Uber driver, he decides to overtake both the cars. And for me, it was like, come on, like, he was putting our lives at risk, and he almost didn't make it. Like, as he started overtaking, he wasn't on a low enough gear, so the car was kind of going slow. He had to switch down. Just that, like, could have, I won't say killed us, but if we're in an accident, much damage, right? Due to him not following the law of not overtaking on a bend. Like, come on, you feel? I didn't judge him for it, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that just in me, I was like, okay, like, already like a point down, you feel me? So yeah, just the simple things, man. Everything has to do with law. When it comes to girls, right? If you're a guy or if you're a girl, but you see most girls apparently don't study guys. Whereas because it's much harder for us guys, we do a lot of studying of girls, right? You have to study girls, and there are certain laws dating coaches as well as just brothers laid down for you, right? This is how you go about with girls. And it's up to you. If you don't follow those laws, you get burnt. If you do, you reap a beautiful relationship / marriage, right? Everything has to do with laws, guys. From clothes to shoes to cars, right? Like the law of petrol, the law of servicing your car. You feel me? Like, only those who know will know. The law of, a house, keeping your house clean. The law of children, you know what I'm saying? Speaking with your children, not speaking down on them. I have brothers, right? Where the parents, they speak down on the brothers, and that damages the relationship, right? There's a lot to everything, man. Like, and where I want to get with this, one thing I've seen, right, is, there's a law God lays down in his word, and he says, those who can be trusted with little can be trusted with a lot. I'm paraphrasing it, right? But this is what I've seen for myself. When I look at all the clothes I have, right? And I refer to clothes because I have a lot of them. I simply keep the law of, okay, I get new clothes, right? Firstly, one thing I understand, and this is only for kingdom citizens, is you don't own anything. So I know that everything I have in my life, I don't really own, right? And I say really because everything is God's. God borrows me all that I have, down to my underwear, everything, right? The car I'm gonna have, the house, even your children. Everything is God's. The world, the earth, and its fullness thereof is the Lord's, right? So one thing I've seen is, okay, I get clothes, right? I always make sure to check the tags, how it needs to be washed, what temperature, how it needs to be ironed, right? Most of my polo t-shirts, Yeah, it's mostly the t-shirts, right? They tell you do not hang in direct sunlight. Some specify wash inside out. But okay, look, I took my clothing, I take good care of it. And I am able to, yeah, okay, take good care of my clothing, right? So then I keep the law of going out and buying more clothing, and I do the same thing, right? I keep my clothing right. So I feel like in my own understanding, God is using me to keep clothes for people, right? As I say, I own nothing. God could be like, you know what, give this t-shirt away, give this chain, to someone else. Bless someone with that car of yours, even though I don't have a car when time comes. But that's how I see with clothing. Like, I keep it all good, and I just look for opportunities. I look to hear, I look to listen to the leading of the Holy Spirit on some. Bless the brother with this. I've given clothes away, I've given things away, which I won't share, right? But it's been of God's leading. It's never been me, because I know as a human, I'm flawed, right? I try my best not to have pride of any sort. But like, yeah, it's always about God, right? So like, if God's like, okay, give this person this jacket, I have to have the mindset of obeying the law of God, which is to listen to every word that comes out of the mouth of God and to live on it. If my bad, Matthew 4 verse 4 says, you shall not live on bread alone, but by every word that comes out the mouth of God. I'm paraphrasing it, right? But you feel me? So I'm in a position where I have a lot of clothes, but they're not for me. Yes, I wear them. Yes, I'm saying I'm shining amongst people. But it's like, okay, God, who do you want me to give this to? God, who do you want me to bless, right? You know what I'm saying? And when I receive clothes, I thank God, I keep them well. When it comes to money, like, I know most of us want money because you can't live on earth without money. It's either you have the money or someone else is providing for you. But money is what we live on, right? The law of saving. Like, what I've seen is, before I got my job, right, I was getting a weekly allowance. Thank the Lord. Because I was privileged. I've always been, right? But until just before my job, right, that's when I started taking my money seriously. Like, I was taking 10% of... So how I divide my money, it's the 30%, right? Out of 100% of my money, I take 30% out. 10% goes to tithe. 20% goes to savings. And the rest of the 70%, maybe another percentage needs to be taken out for expenses, right? Then it's what I can use the money as a resource. What do I do with my money? So I never eat my money 100%. But yeah, before I got my job, I was taking 20% out the money for savings, right? And I remember just depositing so little money, and in my heart I was like, God, please bless me with more. I won't even lie, I want more. I want millions. You know what I'm saying? If God allows me to reach billions, I feel like I don't need them, how I'm looking at my life. But maybe God can use me to build things, right? To bless more people. But like, I definitely know I'm going to be a multimillionaire. But yeah, like, how I see it, right? Like, I was just asking God every time I went to deposit. I was like, yo, God, I'm depositing so little, but please bless me with more and more. And I was kicking in the law of, he who can be trusted with a little can be trusted with a lot. And so God gave me a job, and now I have more money, right? And what I've seen with this money that I have is, yes, I've been misusing it. It's been ups and downs, right? Some months I'm doing good, some months I'm overspending. But what God's trying to teach me, I believe, is just to be able to handle this amount of money that I'm given, so He can give me millions. Like, I have a brother, and not to throw any shade, We always, or he talks mostly about if he had to win about millions, right, in the lotto, let's say 20 million, then you ask him what he'd do with it. The way he breaks it down, for me, right, and I'm judging righteously, you have to discern this by your own will, but I'm like, the way he breaks it down, it seems like he's not responsible with money. Yes, he is, but at the same time, like the way he's breaking it down, it doesn't really make sense, right? Like, and not to be that guy, but I kind of understand why God hasn't blessed him yet, right? Because I also believe he can be a multi-millionaire. God hasn't blessed him yet with that money, because it's like the way he's handling it is kind of reckless. And what God wants is managers, you know. What God wants is someone to steward his money, his resources properly, how he wants on this earth. So yeah, like that's what I've seen when it comes to money. Okay, take out your 20% or your 30% in all. Maybe it's gonna be 40% if you count your, what is it, your expenses. Maybe it could be 50% of your money you are not spending, right? Then this other 50%, you're gonna have to learn to, maybe let's say 20% you live on it, transport, whatever. 30% you can spend. So you can see, if like you're earning 100 rand and you're only spending 30 rand, people could be like, dog, like you're getting 100 rand, why are you not just blowing it all? You know what I'm saying? But they don't understand, right? It's like you can't blow it all. That's why God is able to bless you with millions. Because if you're making $1 million a month, it's not like you're gonna take all that million and probably go to the club, right? You're probably getting around, if we just calculated how we've calculated, 300,000 to spend, right? And that's where you get to be living luxury, because God wants you to, you know, have the best life in abundance. But you have to know the laws of money, right? Don't spend, they always say, don't spend more than you earn. And this sounds cliche, but I see it in people. You know, there's a law that I keep, which is write down. I don't write down everything I spend, right? But I write down the amount of money that comes out my card. So then I know that, okay, this is where my money went. If you don't do that, how do you guys expect, you know, to progress, right? So there's certain laws we all have to keep. My flash just went out, but it's your boy Mduduzi. I hope this video has blessed you and given you understanding. Like, comment anything you guys want to comment. Subscribe if you feel led. I'm out.